Hello guys, welcome to the brand new week. Okay, so this week we are going to dive into the chart and see the opportunities we have therein. All right, so let's take a look on the gold chart at the moment. So, if you take a look on the gold chart, this is 15 minutes versus 1 hour chart. So we're going to do a quick top-down analysis here on the 4 hours on gold. So looking at the opportunities here, we have this building up. We have this impulse, we have this correction, we have this impulse. So when this impulse will be over, there will be a drop. Okay, so that's the bias we are having on the 4 hours, which, if you can see that this is a very strong kind of resistance. So definitely there will be a reaction at this point that might be pulling this down, or within this place it pushes high. Okay, so that's just from the 4 hours perspective. So if you come down to 1 hour chart, you should remember that we are scalpers, so we're just taking a look on what the day has to offer, but majorly our bias is based on smaller time frame. So from the 1 hour, we also have this impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse. So the main question is that if this impulse is over, definitely there will be another drop here. Okay, so but let's confirm that on the 15 minutes. So on the 15 minutes time frame, which is a little bit more clear, we have this sluggish move. So this is where we'll be basing our analysis for the day. Okay, so we have this sluggish move here on the 15 minutes time frame. So that might indicate that once this move is over, there will be a drop, a sharp drop that will be coming, that will correspond with this impulse correction impulse. So this is where we're going to leave it for now, right, on the 15 minutes. So any trade will be taken on the lower time frame, lower than 15 minutes, will be based on this concept, this bias that we have on the 15 minutes, because this is how we trade. So after we've narrowed it down to 15 minutes, we'll now see if we can recognize a certain pattern on the 15 minutes that is forming or about to form, okay, or has finished forming. So based on that, we'll be taking trade. So here now, I have taken a short, a sell on gold, all because I have seen this impulse and I've been able to identify this corrective move, and we're expecting the market to drop. Now, for how far this will go, I don't know, but what is confirmed will be like, if you take a fib from here to here, that will be to the point of this 3,248 level. Okay, so this is where we are basing our bias for now. So in case you are interested in taking this kind of trade, you might take it now, because the sell is still very much valid. Still very much valid. Okay, and it's just starting. All right, so that is just it, guys. So we'll be waiting for the market to play out as we expected of it. Remember, anything can happen, okay? But that is just what the market has proven at the moment. So we are seeing a sell, not fully confirmed, but it will be fully confirmed when this trend here, once this market closes below this on the 15 minutes, that will be a stronger confirmation for that sell. Okay, but on the 1 minute chart, which is more kind of aggressive, we have seen that confirmation already. So we are just waiting to see if the bigger time frame aligns with that what the 1 minute chart is saying, that will be a stronger confirmation for that sell. All right, guys. Okay, so equally, if you are taking trade on smaller time frame, you should also be mindful of the change of character, the change of pattern. Okay, so if you go down to 5 minutes time frame, where 5 minutes is still proving bullish, okay, still very much bullish. Then in my right hand side is the 1 minute. So 1 minute, guys, you can see until the market closes below this. Once this market closes below this trend, that will be a strong confirmation that the market is selling. But at this point, even though we know based on structure that the percentage probability of it closing below is higher than pushing high, okay? But we are still waiting. We are waiting for it to happen. I can see the fluctuating nature of the market playing out in 1 minute. Okay, so which is a very good thing. I've seen this, we've seen this, we've seen this, we've seen this, so we're expecting this to drop. It's amazing. So let's talk about something that is important here. Yes, last week, Friday, which is the NFP, guys. Well, the power of wave analysis is something that every trader that is interested in becoming a profitable trader should pay attention to. You know, irrespective of the momentum, the fundamental, the news. You see, one thing that is always of utmost importance in trade is that the patterns determines the direction of the market, whereby the fundamental determines the momentum of the market. Okay, so yes, let me just explain to you guys what happened and the advantage we took. You know, I saw a lot of guys we are buying during that NFP, but this is what we actually emphasized, what we saw that made us to sell during that NFP. So the market was exactly at this point. Okay, the market was exactly at this point. We drew this, we have this trend line drawn on our market. So, and we saw this happening. This happened, impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse. So all this has happened before the NFP. All this have happened before the NFP. And from what we know in trading, we've seen that this is kind of ending kind of diagonal. And once ending diagonal plays out like this, it's a bearish setup. Okay, so we saw this. This has played out. I think during the time of trigger, this was the trigger candle. This was the trigger candle. This particular candle was the trigger candle, and that was the one that actually broke the trend. This was the one that broke the trend. That was exactly 1:30 p.m. on Friday, Nigerian time, when the NFP was triggered. So immediately we saw this. In fact, I didn't even wait for the NFPs to start. I didn't even wait because I already know that, okay, since it's this is an ending diagonal, so where else do you expect the market to go if not to sell? So I sold at this point because I know. So immediately NFP came. There was no momentum as expected. So I was expecting this to fall like a stone like this, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. So instead, you just drop a little bit, you know, and start stalling here, and drop again and start stalling. So immediately, I say, well, you know, news most times has to do with manipulations. So I just close out to avoid that manipulation that might playing out. And we had this, and eventually the market drop, all because there is a pattern that supports that. Okay, there's a pattern that supports that. So that's just it, guys. You know, the market don't lie. It gives you a clue before it plays out what it has to do. So what's going on here? Well, I can see this reversal here might be, let me, this might break up again, you know, because of the way the market has formed here. We've seen this, we've seen this, we've seen this, we've seen this, we've seen this. So this might actually break this, which, yeah. And that will be from there to start pushing high again, pushing lower. So we might expect something like this. So let's take a look on the Bitcoin. I think the Bitcoin is playing out carefully. Okay, so we have a Bitcoin chart here. So what we're expecting from Bitcoin is for the market to give us a complete structure for this wave. I've not broken this. Okay, guys, so on the gold, the market has proven itself that is bullish. So closing above this is an indication of bullish setup. Okay, so all we need to do now, wait for a pullback, then join the trend as it keep moving higher. You know, you respected the trend very much.